All right, welcome back to Take What You Can. My name is Terrell. This is the 10th episode of the podcast. Thank you to those who listen. Thank you. I really appreciate you following me along this early stages. And as we continue to build, I just look forward to building an audience and a relationship with you guys and learning a little bit about who would follow me and what you guys would like to learn or talk about or just basically build a community. I'm really looking forward to that. And again, I just wanted to thank you guys. Make sure if you want to follow me in other areas, follow me on X. That's where you're going to see me post the most. My username is TWYCF on X. That's Take What You Can Football on X. Just the the shortened version of it. We got a good show today. We really do. Today we're going to talk a little bit starting with the Broncos. Now, I've got some animosity against the Broncos. I feel like most of my football just watching is just animosity for other teams that aren't mine. And even my own, I have some animosity. But the main reason for my animosity is Sean Payton. For those of you who don't know, I am a Minnesota Vikings fan. Now let me take you back to 2009. It's probably January of 2009, maybe even December. I'm probably about 10 years old, maybe 9. I just start to get into football. It's the first time in my young consciousness that I remember the Vikings being good. And everything was clicking. We had insane games where we beat the 49ers on the huge Greg Lewis play. Things had been clicking. We have Adrian Peterson, who's a young stud. We got an aging Brett Favre, but is playing out of his mind. Sidney Rice. I believe Bernard Berrien as well. You have Visante Shianko, who was a red zone beast. You have a great, not just good, a great offensive line. You have a Hall of Fame level defensive line. You've got Jared Allen and the Williams twins. Kevin Williams, Pat Williams. You've got E.J. Henderson. You've got solid corners, obviously, in Antoine Winfield. And you just have so much to offer. You got a young Percy Harvin as well. I can't believe I forgot to mention him. And I'm not going to act like it was all the Saints' fault, that the Vikings didn't have any culpability to why they lost. But Bountygate was a real thing. It was ridiculous. We knew it was happening as it was happening. And back then, my dad was such a, I guess we'll call it, well-seasoned Vikings fan that he had a foam brick with the Vikings logo on it. And whenever you got upset, you would throw the brick at the TV. And obviously, it wouldn't break the TV because it's foam. And after we lost, I bawled my eyes out and threw the brick at the TV over and over again. Even back then, I said, there's no way we're going back to the Super Bowl next year. Or there's no way we're getting to the Super Bowl or getting back to this point next year. This was our season. And, I'll give myself some props. There's a reason I do this podcast. I even knew back then when I was 9. So that's where it stems. And, Sean Payton left the Saints. I'm okay with that. Then he goes and joins the Broncos. Cool. I wish that you fail. But then from there, 2024 draft night, he claims to have baited the Minnesota Vikings into trading up for J.J. McCarthy and tries to take the credit for it. Now, I am someone who did not believe in Bo Nix coming out of the draft. I did not. With all this tied together, I'm going to have to eat my crow a little bit. The Denver Broncos are, I believe, we've got it here, 7-5, right? I'm going to pull up the team stats and see where they are at all around. We've got Pro Football Reference coming up. Shout out to Pro Football Reference. You obviously have Bo Nix leading the charge in the passing game. That's all well and good. The receiving core has been interesting. Obviously, Cortland Sutton is leading the way. But what I'd like to start with is just where the team is at as a whole. Okay, so let's see here. When we've got points scored, they have 264 points. That's 18th in the league. They're 23rd in yards. The defense in points allowed and yards allowed is 3-3. Across the board, they're at 3. Obviously, the defense is leading the charge. Bo Nix has had a very good past few games. Bo Nix game stats. Let's see here. Currently on the season, he's got 2,500 yards, which ranks 13th. He's got 16 touchdowns, which ranks 11th, and he only has 6 interceptions. In the game he just played against the Raiders, he's 25 of 42 for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns. And in a convincing win against Atlanta, 28 of 33, 307 yards, 9.3 yards per pass, and 4 touchdowns. Insanely good. He didn't play bad against the Chiefs. He was bad against the Ravens. But as a whole, he's playing really well. And I don't doubt Sean Payton's ability to win football games. Obviously, I don't. Unless when Stephon Diggs is involved. Sorry, Marcus Williams. Not sorry, Sean Payton or Alvin Kamara. I don't really care. From there, I just want to take a look at the whole team because I did do a video that I don't believe is up anymore, but I really liked the Denver Broncos draft class. And it wasn't so much the Bo Nix pick, but it was the other picks. Because we have Jonah Ellis. We have Troy Franklin. And, that's mainly it. Those are the two that I really liked. I believe I had Troy Franklin in a second-round pick. I had Jonah Ellis as a second-round pick. They got him in third and fourth round. Great picks. I think Troy Franklin's only going to get better with time. Maybe if he can add a little weight or strength, that would be great. But Jonah Ellis is a beast. He's basically a point guard. He is crossing people up and making it look easy. And let me take a look at his stats overall. We're going to take a look at his stats for the year. Let's see. 2024 Broncos stats. He's got 22 combined tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 4 quarterback hits, and 3 sacks, and 2 pass deflections. So he's playing pretty well. He's definitely contributing. For what it is worth, his PFF grade is not very good. It's at a 55, but that is all right. He will get better with time. I do not doubt that at all. They also have Nick Bonito. Their secondary is playing really well as well. I think, obviously, Pat Surtain is playing really well, but, the Broncos are doing it the right way. I'd maybe like to see them run the ball a little more effectively. Um, I guess we can take a look at those stats. I could be wrong. Denver Broncos rushing stats. Team stats, Denver Broncos. This is from their website, so it's got to be trustworthy, right? You ever like click accept cookies and you're like, I kind of want to eat some cookies. Well, diabetes, here we come. Okay. Team statistics. Offense. Okay, let's see. Okay, the Denver Broncos. Total rushing yards 1,339. They have 317 rush plays. They're averaging 4.2 yards a carry, which is not terrible, but also not great. I mean, anytime you can average over 4 point anything rushing, it's not bad. But again, they're ranked 18th. So you're definitely below average. And I think a good reason for that is still, some of your offensive line woes. Because you've got Ben Powers, who is solid. He's all right, but you definitely want him as like a guy who's kind of your worst guy. Your center definitely needs to get better. But other than that, Miners, I think that's how you say it. Miners, your right guard is playing well, and your tackles are playing relatively well as well. You can definitely use a better tight end. I know Sean Payton doesn't always value tight ends. He usually gets the most out of whatever tight end he has, unless it's like Jimmy Graham. But other than that, I think for the most part, a good defense and a solid offensive line with a decent running game is a good place to start for a rookie quarterback. It definitely is, especially with the things that Bo Nix struggles in. My big knocks on him were the fact that he's already 24 years old when he was drafted, and he, with a lot of college football experience in games and just started a lot of games. And let's see here. How many games did Bo Nix start in college? 61 games. 61. And he's 24 years old. He's obviously very talented. But the problem is he still has so many inaccuracy problems. And when I saw him in that Oregon offense, you saw a lot of easy passes, crossing routes, screens, a lot of them just inaccurate, not getting the ball where it needs to be in stride. And in that Oregon offense, it's so important. Why do you think someone like Tua does so well in Miami? It's about timing. It's about leading people or leading your receiver to be able to extend the play after the catch. And it's also about hitting them in the right spots, right? Hitting them to a point where they can catch it and keep running, kind of like I said. And Bo Nix has struggled in that. He's familiar with the offense, but maybe Sean Payton believes he can coach him up with that. But again, we will see over time and how that works. That's kind of all I have to say with the Broncos. I kind of just have to eat my crow right now. I'm not surprised that this is probably the top end of what they're able to do at this juncture with the team that they have. And, all power to them, or more power to them. Like, Sean Payton's really getting these guys to play hard. I just want you guys to know why they're playing well, and also that I don't want that to continue. That's my main point. So Pro Bowl voting actually just started. That's kind of the next topic I wanted to go into. So we're actually going to go and do the Pro Bowl voting on the podcast here. We're going to take some time and just say, hey, where am I going to put people here? Okay, so, and this isn't fully looking off stats. I'm just going to go off the cuff a little bit here. So I get to pick 6 players per position. So right now I'm on quarterback. Okay. Wow, this one's going to be hard. I know Mahomes is going to make it, but I definitely don't think he would be my top pick. Or probably even in any of my picks. I think, Joe Burrow's definitely there. We're going to pick Joe Burrow. We are going to pick definitely Jalen Hurts. I would say Josh Allen for sure. You got to put Jared Goff in there the way he's been playing, especially other than just that one bad game. I think from there, I have two remaining. I think you got to put Baker Mayfield in there, and you're going to have to put Patrick Mahomes in there because he's going to make it. And then also, he is on probably the best team in football right now. So that's not hard. So I have Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, and Patrick Mahomes. Again, this is just off the cuff. It's telling me I need to log in to NFL.com to finish this. Why does it matter if I log in? That's kind of silly. All right, professionalism of the podcast. We are logging in to NFL.com. Hear the clicking in the background. Okay, cool. So submitting for the quarterbacks here. Now we are going to go to... Wow, it only does quarterbacks? We're only allowed to vote for quarterbacks? Is that really the case? No. Okay. Oh, okay. It's because I didn't... Okay. I see. I have to go through... Okay. We're back to it. Saquon Barkley for sure. We're on running backs now. Derrick Henry for sure. We might have to do Josh Jacobs. I think you might have to put Alvin Kamara in there. They're ranking these by yards. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs already has 1,100 yards and 11 touchdowns. That's hard to beat. Josh Jacobs I'd put in there. I mean, again, these are guys I'm really familiar with. Joe Mixon's 11 touchdowns, 1,000 yards. That's hard to beat. Kyron Williams in there maybe. No, you got to put Alvin Kamara in there. I'm just backtracking a little bit to put my quarterbacks back in there real quick because I submitted too early, prematurely. Okay, and then, okay. Hopping into wide receiver here. Okay. Jamar Chase has 12 touchdowns. That's insane. We still have like 4 or 5 weeks left. And he's got 12 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson's second in yards. Wow, the receiving just hasn't been the best this year. And you can tell by that in fantasy as well. Yikes. I mean, just even in yards, I mean, next is CeeDee Lamb. I mean, I guess you can put him there. That's not my favorite. Amon-Ra, he's got 9 touchdowns. You gotta respect that. Yeah, just the usual like big dogs, the big guys are not where they usually are. I mean, Terry McLaurin at this point, 825 yards. He's 4th in receiving yards, and he's got 7 touchdowns. At this point, you got to put him in there. Yikes. The rest of it is just rough. Very rough. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to put Zay Flowers in there just because he's 5th in yards. And you got to put Amon-Ra in there because he's just having a stellar season. All right, we're on to fullback. 6 fullbacks? We're really going to pick 6 fullbacks? That's crazy to me. All right, well, Carson Steele, who I really liked as a running back, but whatever. He's fumbled 3 times, which isn't great. Got to put my man C.J. Ham in there. You got to put the big redheaded guy from the Chargers in there. Juszczyk, you got to put him in there too. From there, Ricard, I like Ricard from the Ravens. And then Yeah, I mean, Ingold has a touchdown, so let's put him in there. Okay, fullbacks are done. We are hopping to tight ends. This one's crazy. Tight end this year has been so interesting. Um, Brock Bowers for sure. Trey McBride for sure. Kittle and Kelsey, you got to put usual suspects. I mean, they're top four in receiving, and plus, you gotta. I mean, they're gonna make it either way. You gotta pick them. Let's see, Taysom Hill. I'm putting Taysom Hill in there. I don't care what anybody says. Definitely ain't putting Sam Laporta in there. Thanks, Sam Laporta, for my fantasy season so far. I am 6-6 though, or I might be. Okay, I'm scared to say that. I'm up 14 points, and all they have left is Cameron Dicker, the kicker. That's all they have left. So I'm just hoping and praying. It's going to be a hard-fought game, and I'm scared because I feel like it's going to be a lot of field goals. All right, and next I'm picking Zach Ertz just because I love Zach Ertz. Okay, we're going to go to tackle here. This is where I kind of lean a little more on PFF grades because if you really want to know how offensive linemen are doing, you really just have to watch the film. And in the sake that you don't have time, you have to trust PFF grades a little bit. But again, that's something I'm going to work on. Make sure I am keeping up to date with the film. But in this sense, I'm probably going to rely more on PFF grade. So the best options for tackle, we've got Jordan Mailata, Taron Armstead, Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, Trent Williams, Zach Tom. Those are the top 6. But I am going to take Zach Tom out because he's a Packer. And I'm going to put Brian O'Neill in because he's the next ranked and he's a Viking. And Packer knocks you down like 3 points. In my book, let's see. They've got these guys ranked really weird. It doesn't fully make sense on this platform here of NFL.com, but that is okay. Let's see. Okay, Zach Tom, definitely not because you're a Packer. I mean, you're going to have to like really earn it for me if you're a Packer. It's just going to have to be how it is, you know? That's just how it's going to be. So I still need Jordan Mailata and Teron Armstead. Okay. Got him here. Okay, guards. Next, we're going to guard. Let's see what else we got in PFF ranks. I feel like kind of lame for picking guards. But, picking guards. For picking based off of PFF grade. Wow, James Daniels. Look at you, bro. Bro is killing it. Good for him. I've always liked him. He's got a 92.9 PFF grade. That's insane. Okay, well, welcome to the Pro Bowl vote, my brother. Where are you, sir? Oh, my gosh. James Daniels, where are you, bro? Okay, well, either way, we've got Chris Lindstrom, Kevin Zeitler, Will Fries, Will Eat Fries. His middle name better be Eat. I swear, it better be Eat. Otherwise, I'm going to be really disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Okay, Chris Lindstrom, we know that. Where's Will Eat Fries? Kevin Zeitler is one of them. Quentin Nelson, wow, he's not even that highly ranked. They don't even have Will Eat Fries on here. You know what? NFL.com, if you want more accurate offensive linemen, this is why you don't have it. I'm just going to pick random ones at this point. Daniel Falele. This is such an entertaining podcast. Okay, we're going to move through this. Center, I like, what do we got here? 4 top centers. Creed Humphrey, okay, Frank usual guys, okay. Creed Humphrey, Frank Ragnow. Those are usual guys. I'm going to vote for Garrett Bradbury because he's a Viking. He definitely doesn't deserve it, but that's okay. I know I like Zach Frazier. And then from there, Linderbaum. I like Linderbaum. And Cooper Beebe. I like him too. Probably doesn't deserve it, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, on to defense. This one I don't need to rely on grades. I'm good. Will Anderson is up here. Trey Hendrickson, Daniil Hunter. Okay, Myles Garrett definitely needs to be there. Top 3 in sacks, obviously. Very, very good. Let's see what else here. Leading the league is Trey Hendrickson in sacks. He does have like 11 and a half. You can't fully bat an eye at that. I say you got to put him up there. Daniil Hunter, you got to put him up there. You know, Will Anderson, you got to put him up there. Max Crosby. I don't know why they don't have more pressures. I don't know why they're not listing by pressures. But when you basically say, hey, who has the highest sack totals, this is who I'm going to vote for, like, it's just not, it's not the right way to go about it. I don't think that's always the best way. I'm going to vote for Jonathan Grenard, too. He should have a lot of sacks. Where is he? He had quite a few. I know he has a lot of pressures. I don't know if he has a lot of sacks. This is so wild. The way they have this set up is so... It's like they don't even know football. All right, we're going to defensive tackle. Dexter Lawrence for sure. Vita Vea's the man. Quinnen Williams. Fiske, I'm going to vote for him because I liked him. He's got 6 sacks. Cam Hayward's playing the best in football. And then from there, I mean, Ali McNeil is the man too. Yeah, I'm going there. Inside linebacker. They're just going to give me tackles, aren't they? That's so dumb. Why don't they just like at least partner with PFF and get grades? It's better than just tackles and, you know, sacks. It's got to be better than that. I'm going to go Roquan. I'm going to go from the Eagles, not Nakobe Dean. What's his name? Zach Bond's playing really well. I know that. Zach Bond. Come on. Where are you, brother? Zach Bond, Zach Bond, Zach Bond. Zach Bond. Okay, I can't seem to find Zach Bond, but that's okay. We got Fred Warner, which is definitely what I'm voting for. This is why people don't vote for the Pro Bowl. This is why nobody takes it seriously. This is not, like, helpful at all. And I know football more than the average person, than the average viewer. I pay attention to it more in terms of team building, schematics, stats, all this. I pay attention to it way more than the average person, and I'm having a hard time even finding the people I want to vote for. Yeah, this is kind of a clown show. But, you know, that's okay, because I am used to clown shows. Quay Walker, I'll vote for him because he's scary, even though he's a Packer. Bobby Wagner, cool. Nick Bolton, I really like Nick Bolton. He's a playmaker. Okay, outside linebacker. Nick Bonito, okay, this is where it is. Okay, Jonathan Grenard, Van Ginkel is the man. TJ Watt's the man. See, I got 2 more votes here. Yeah, this is so backwards. Like, the way they have position. Well, just make an edge position. This is so backwards. Okay, well, what we're learning in this is that Pro Bowl is trash, and we should have knew that beforehand. But, you know, that's okay. Pat Surtain is definitely the best corner in football at this point. Marlon Humphrey's playing well. Byron Murphy, I like you, but you're definitely not worth a Pro Bowl vote. I would never vote for Jair Alexander for anything. Not even Employee of the Month at the worst possible job you can think of. Kamari Lassiter, he's playing. Let's just look at grades as well. Cornerback is one of those things that's really hard to judge who's actually playing well because, I mean, a lot of it depends on the coverage at the end of the day. Safe pick is Jalen Ramsey. Stingley's playing well. I know that. Who else we got? Let's take a look here. Jalen Johnson, I like him a lot. I'll vote for him anyway. Then let's go. I'm just going to vote for AJ Terrell because his last name's my first name. And this is how Pro Bowl voting happens. Kyle Hamilton for safety for sure. We're definitely going to go Brian Branch. Is he out for the season? I don't think he is. I'm going Brian Branch. I think Josh Metellus should definitely be up there. He's not even up here, dude. Okay, this is just strong safety. What about free safety? Cam Bynum for sure, bro. Xavier McKinney, Carl Joseph for sure. No, not DeMar Hamlin. Blankenship's playing really well. Yeah, you don't even have Metellus up here, which is a crime against humanity. We'll go Hooker from the Titans, and we're gonna go Jesse Bates from the Falcons because he's a beast. We're gonna hop back over to strong safety. Harrison Smith, let's vote for. Oh, here's Metellus. Okay, Metellus for sure. Who else we got? Julian Love's playing really well. Buda Baker's playing really well. Let's go with those. They have such just an old school idea of what positions are. It's kind of crazy. Okay, kickers. Fairburn, I'm going to vote for him because he's my fantasy kicker. Boswell, because that's all he does is kick field goals. That's all the Steelers do. Carlson's the man. Vikings should have never let him go. Aubrey's that guy. Can't vote for Seibert after what happened. Cameron Dicker because of the last name. And Youngwei Koo because it's Youngwei Koo. Long snapper. We've got... Oh, I can't vote for the Vikings one anymore. I'm still going to vote for him. Why do we need 6 long snappers? This is ridiculous. People can't even name 6 long snappers, let alone vote for 6 long snappers. I could probably name 6 punters. Okay, Tommy Townsend. I like the Vikings punter because he's overweight. It's kind of funny. Yeah, we're just going to go with the top-ranked guys they have. Okay, so return specialist, Kamante Turpin for sure. Eckler seems to be doing pretty good. Who are the guys I'm most scared of? I'm scared of Marvin Mims. Not scared of Powell. Who have I really seen? People don't like house stuff anymore. You know? Keyshawn Nixon, I'm terrified of. More people I'm scared of when I kick. That should just be the barometer. It should just be a fear meter. You know, Mecole Hardman, I'm kind of scared of. And I've got one left. Let's just go with Tucker because he seems to be doing pretty good. Wait, not Tucker. We're going to go DJ Dallas because he seems to be doing pretty good. And then we got special teams. We got to go with, who's that Viking player? Oh, they don't even have him on there. Okay, that's fine. We're going to vote for Sherfield because he's a Viking. We're just going to go with the top guys for special teams. Matthew Slater ain't here anymore, so nobody knows who a special teams player is. But yeah. Okay, that's it. Submitted 120 votes. 120 votes. Interesting. I guess, okay, what were my big takeaways? My big takeaway is that Pro Bowl voting needs to be improved. They need to at least just get with PFF or something so fans get a better sense of what's going on, or change positions up. Like we had defensive end and outside linebacker, just do edge. You know? We also don't need 6 long snappers. We don't need 6 punters. Like, we don't need this many. And the Pro Bowl already has issues finding people to contribute, and we got to find a way to get fans more invested. Don't make it more gimmicky. Pick their favorite people. Listen to who they want. In a way, like, give them really informed decisions. You know? Like, don't misinform the people and tell them what's going on. And speaking of the term misinformation, because it's MSNBC's favorite word, did you know? I just found this out recently, and I also feel like everyone on the planet found this out recently. MSNBC stands for Microsoft NBC. And I would have never guessed that. But it makes so much sense. When was NBC created? Because it was almost like, oh, not NBC, MSNBC created 1996. And it just makes so much sense. My man Bill Gates, 1996. Literally. Wow. It is scary. Okay. So I looked at when MSNBC was founded, aka Microsoft NBC. July 15th, 1996. From there, I just Google Bill Gates 1996. In January of 1996, Bill Gates wrote the following essay titled "Content is King," which was published on the Microsoft website. This is according to Medium.com. They quoted him saying, "Content is where I expect much of the real money will be made on the internet, just as it was in broadcasting." Now, for those of you, I feel like we throw the word content around. Like, let's really look at what that means. Content is a broad term that can refer to anything that provides meaning to a web page or other online resource. Content can be defined as textual, visual, or audio elements that make up a website or other online resources. It's everything that provides meaning to a web page at the end of the day. And what this podcast is, it's content. And content is king. It's true. He's not wrong. But, you know, to purchase MSNBC right around that time, you know, good on him for having the foresight to follow that. But I think we all know how bad Bill Gates is. Like, this man, with COVID, with global warming, just with his opinions on these things, and then the alleged relationship with Jeffrey Epstein is definitely a problem. You know, you can't sit here and say that stuff is conspiracy theory when it all turns out to be coming true. You can't sit here and hide it anymore. The truth will always come out. And no matter how much you try to control the narrative and control people, it's the truth will always come out. And that's never going to change. It will never, ever, ever change. So that's kind of the small thing I wanted to mention as well. Just an interesting topic that was brought to my attention. And it's kind of scary. But, you know, we tread forward. We trust in Jesus and to bring truth to the light. And he is truth. We trust him to come to light in everything that we do. And that's what we're going to do. Okay. Next, what I wanted to talk about was Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, the man is 72 years old. His young girlfriend's probably keeping him alive for quite a while. Keeping him young, keeping him spry. Now it becomes the question is, should he take that next step into becoming a head coach and probably a GM again? And then if he does, what's the realistic timeline in which that should happen? Because again, 72 years old, that's the most important aspect of this. Because how long do you want to coach? 8 more years, 5 more years? Do you just want another shot at a Super Bowl? Kind of cement your legacy? Because obviously he's having fun. Him and his girlfriend. He's going on TV. He's probably making a lot of money doing that. But obviously he wants to coach again, but he's not going to do it for the wrong reasons or the wrong circumstance. So, yeah, let's take a look at who could be next. Let's think about it like this. If I'm Bill Belichick, where am I going? Where do I want to go? What is realistic for me? Who's not going to clip my wings? Who's not going to clip my wings? Because if I'm Bill Belichick, I'm not Bill Belichick, but I'm trying to get in the mindset of Bill Belichick, which I want total control and reins over things. I want the owner to trust me and allow me to do my job. I want to run a multiple defense that can run multiple looks, and it's not necessarily a 4-3 or a 3-4. I want to be able to maneuver players around on the line. I want an experienced quarterback and offensive coordinator, and I want the GM powers. That's kind of how I break down Bill Belichick. So, and also on top of that, it has to match in terms of available coaching job. I can't just take whatever job I want, even though I'd probably like to, but probably when we look at it, the available coaching jobs are going to be the Jets, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Bengals, maybe the Browns, the Saints, I don't think the maybe the Jaguars. And yeah, I don't think the Raiders should be. Not the Raiders. So, okay. So Jets, no way I'm going there. They might be desperate enough. I mean, he already denied the Jets, And even if you go there, it's not like, is Aaron going to want to stay? Because Woody Johnson doesn't want him there. I don't think there's any way that Bill Belichick wants to go to the Jets. No chance. Giants, I could see him wanting to because of his history and because of the full circle of his career. I could see that. But no quarterback. You're going to have to get a young guy. Unless you're signing someone like Dak or trading for it, it's not going to happen. Bengals. Huh. That one's a real contender. Let's go back to that one later. Jaguars, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think he'd want to go there either. I don't know if he believes in Trevor. Saints, I mean, Josh McDaniels didn't believe in Derek Carr. I don't think Bill Belichick will. And in all honesty, who's probably going to be the offensive coordinator? Because I don't think Josh McDaniels has a job, does he? Josh McDaniels, What is he doing right now? He's not. Yeah, he's not doing much. Current job. I don't. Yeah, is currently without a job in the NFL. I think that's probably Bill's guy, as he should be. He's a good offensive coordinator. So, yeah, definitely not the Saints. You know, the Raiders, even if that job did become available, I don't think it's happening. I think if I'm Bill Belichick, the only option is the Bengals. Here's why. Obvious reason, and reason number one, Joe Burrow. Joe is, I think, exactly the kind of quarterback that Bill Belichick wants. Think about it. Think about how he talks to the media and how much it is like Bill Belichick. It really is like that. It is. It's a no-nonsense, well, I'm just here to win. I don't know. I'm not concerned about anything else. I just want to bleach my hair. That's it. And play football. That's what it's about. Yeah, I think, I mean, offensive line isn't great, but you do have resources in it. Ted Karras used to play for you in the Patriots system. You know, you got Jamar Chase. He's going to want to keep him. And with the D line, you have a lot of guys who are solid. And Trey Hendrickson can move around the line. Sam Hubbard can move around the line. You got a lot of invested in, young corners. You still have, what's his name? Oh, gosh. The wide receiver from Alabama. The rookie. Oh, my gosh. Where is it here? Jermaine Burton. There we go. I think, yeah. If I am Bill Belichick, I think the only option is the Cincinnati Bengals. Because think about it. You got an owner that doesn't want to be involved too much, but also doesn't want to spend a lot of money. Bill's the kind of guy who's not going to spend a lot of money. And you got the right quarterback in place. I don't know how long Jamar Chase would stay. I don't know if Bill would want to pay him. And that might be unfortunate, but, you got to trust where they're at with it. I'm pulling up over the cap here. Bengals, 2025, they're going to have $65 million in cap space. You're not going to pay T. Higgins. You probably won't pay him anyway, but definitely when Belichick's there, you're not paying two huge wide receivers. Yeah, it's a little bit older on the guys you have paid, but you got a good amount invested in both lines. I think Bill can get the most out of them. He could probably even cut some of the guys. I mean, Joe Burrow's already paid. Wow, Joe Burrow's going to be 29. I am old. Yikes. But, I mean, Joe's going into that time of his career where it's like, it's put up or shut up. It's about the intelligent aspects of the game. You're not as young anymore. It's about the strategy. I think, yeah. If I am Bill Belichick, I am definitely going to the Cincinnati Bengals. And I didn't expect it to be as clear cut as that, but it is. To me, it's pretty clear cut. It really is. And then, okay, so, Josh McDaniels is probably going to be my offensive coordinator. Now the question becomes, who's going to be my defensive coordinator? I'm just kind of looking at Bill Belichick past coordinators. I mean, yeah, I don't think Matt Patricia has a job. I don't know if they'd want to fully run it back, but they could. They definitely could with Matt Patricia. he was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles and kind of assistant last year. Yeah, I mean, okay, he's a senior defensive assistant. Okay. These positions for these coaches are so interesting. It's like corporate, but not because it's football. It's so interesting how they like try to manage the corporate aspect of it and also the fact that it's sports and they're really just coaching football. It's kind of funny. But I guess a lot of corporations work that way. Yeah, I guess just it's pretty clear cut. I don't know. I don't have much to say regarding this topic anymore. I didn't expect this to be this clear cut. Um, but again, yeah, I think we're starting to get to that time of year where people are, people are going to start losing their jobs. And it's unfortunate, but it's just that time of the year, you know? And we got to start talking about it. And Bill Belichick is one of those guys that, I mean, if you get him, stuff becomes serious. It really does. And like I said, he's 72 years old. I mean, Burrow's 29. He got maybe 4 years to really make a difference. And Belichick's going to be, 76. If he can just stay looking like Bill, he might be able to do it. Andy Reid's out here just barely surviving, it looks like. And he is how old? He's 66. He's getting up there too. But he looks a lot less healthy than other people. And I know he's had a lot of family issues over time, so that's not good for you. I'm pretty sure his son committed suicide quite a while ago, and it's just like, I feel for those kind of people because it's like, you're working a lot, and if you forget about those kind of things, and it's just like when he's alone, he's got to be feeling that. It's like kind of like, what am I doing with my life? How do I move forward? I'm 66, I'm coaching the Chiefs, which is all great, but I don't know. I won't fully speak to his personal life, but yeah, I mean, those things got to weigh on you, man. You get older and, you missed out on a big part of your family's lives, and then, your son tragically dies, and you kind of just ask yourself, where do we go from here? And I don't know. Kudos to him for being able to charge forward. I don't know if I could. But the Chiefs have been, I mean, speaking of the Chiefs, I saw Mahomes was like, I'm sick of losing close games. Or, I'm sorry, winning close games, and they're all close. Because, yeah, they just beat the Panthers 30-27. They lost to the Bills, but they beat the Chiefs 16-14. Bucks, they beat 30-24. Raiders, they beat 27-20. The last win that they had more than one score was October 20th. And, Mahomes, as a Vikings fan, I know exactly how you feel. Because one season we lost every close game, and then the next one, it was either the next one or a couple after that. I mean, we won every close game. And then we went and got cooked by Daniel Jones. Now he's not even a starting quarterback or even on a team anymore. But what's interesting is, Daniel Jones is going to clear waivers here. When does Daniel Jones clear waivers? Clears waivers on Monday at 4 p.m. Okay. But, okay, that's when he's clearing waivers. So, someone can pick him up. What's the waiver order in the NFL? I assume it's just worst team in the league all the way to best. But, NFL standings. Okay, let's say it's just like that. we'll look at the full standings of the league and we can just see where things lie. Because if it does go the opposite way, okay, we've got, the worst team in the league is the Giants. Obviously, they're cutting him. They're not picking him. The Raiders, I mean, they did lose Gardner Minshew, so maybe. But if Daniel Jones has any say in it, he ain't going there. Jags, no. Patriots, no. Titans, no. Jets, probably not. Maybe. They'd probably see, what's his name from Florida State, their rookie, or Tyrod Taylor, one of those guys. Cleveland Browns, probably not. Panthers, no. Saints, no. Cowboys, probably not. I don't think you should. Bengals, no. Bears, no. Colts, no. Buccaneers, no. 49ers, maybe. Probably not. They're trying to actually win and, Daniel Jones is good, but, you're going to want someone in your system for a while. I know Brandon Allen didn't play well, but, it's going to be hard to try to make the playoffs when you got someone brand new. Dolphins, no. Rams, no. Seahawks, no. Falcons, no. Cardinals, no. Washington, no. Texans, no. Broncos, no. Ravens, Chargers, no. Steelers, probably not. No. Packers, Eagles, no. Vikings. Yeah, Vikings would be a good one to have a backup for Sam because you don't want Nick Mullins. I think most people, and even the Lions for a backup, I think most people wouldn't mind having Daniel Jones as their backup quarterback. And if you think you don't want Daniel Jones as your backup quarterback, you don't know football. Because, yes, he's taking a lot of heat, but it's not... Daniel Jones is taking a lot of heat, but he is not the issue with the Giants. Malik Neighbors even said it, and I've been saying it. He's not the issue, and Daniel Jones is a quality quarterback. Could start in this league for a good amount of teams. And to have him as your backup, he is like a 1A kind of backup. So if you wouldn't take him, you don't know football. You definitely don't know football. But we'll see probably. I'm recording this on Monday, November 25th. We'll probably know by the end of the day where he goes, if not tomorrow. So I'm really excited to see where he'll be at here. Really, really excited to see. I hope it is the Vikings. I don't Sam Darnold gets shaken up a good amount. Maybe once, at least every other game, he's got to walk off the field for a play. It does scare me. The Vikings are Sam Darnold getting hurt away from losing their whole season. It ain't going to happen with Nick Mullins, and I think they know that, and they've seen that over the past few games. And if Daniel Jones goes in there, at least they have a chance. May not be the best chance, but they definitely have a chance. And I think Daniel Jones wants to go to a solid organization that cares about winning, that cares about him, and is just a quality organization with good systems in place, good people in place. And I think that's what Daniel wants. And obviously with the Giants, you don't get that. And we're going to continue to see this be a problem for a long time with the Giants. It'll be interesting to see what they do over the next offseason and the next year or so, who they hire. I think Shane is out. I think Daboll is out. I think if they don't get rid of them, it's bad. It's definitely going to be bad. And you could say, okay, yes, you want stability, but again, stability is not the way with these two. You need to pick the right people without a quarterback you've given a lot of money to. Let your people make the decision, and you'll let it go, and then commit to them for 4 or 5 years. See how that plays out, because it's going to take a long time. And then you need to be patient. Stop drafting quarterbacks and then a year later, 2 years later, hiring new GM coaches who never wanted that quarterback in the first place. Or even if they didn't mind them, then, they didn't pick them. They didn't invest their future into them. They didn't do the homework into them. Yes, they took the job, but everyone wants a NFL head coaching job. Everyone wants an NFL GM job. I'd love to have, probably not coaching. I'm not skilled enough in that. But I love team building. Obviously, I probably couldn't be an NFL GM, but I love team building and putting pieces together. So that's all I have to say about that. We got to keep an eye on Daniel Jones and the Giants as it continues to become a story in the NFL, one of the biggest stories. But with that being said, yeah, thank you for listening. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. He's always there for you. He is our Lord and Savior. We're all sinners, and He's here to help us gain salvation and help us see the light. Again, yes, thank you for listening. Take care. You have a great day.